The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
Good morning, everyone. Time now for the Butch and Bob Show. A special guest in the studio is candidate for County Commissioner in District 5, Randy Franks. We had Princess Dial's opponent in on Tuesday. Early voting continues all the way up until November 1st, with the general election set for Tuesday, November 5th. Wednesday, again, another nice turnout here in Wayne County. Another 874 people voted in the early voting period. Again, the two-day total in Wayne County is 1,801, numbers we've never seen before. Again, a lot of interest in that presidential race coming up on November 5th. But we do have a county commissioner's race. Again, Randy Franks, our guest today, candidate for District 5. And Randy, appreciate you coming in. Always good to see you. First of all, tell people a little bit about yourself. Like I say, tell people all the time, there's people moving in all the time in Wayne County. A lot of people don't know who Randy Franks is, but so for those that may not know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Randy Franks, running for County Commissioner, District 5. I had a lot of people asking me if I'd run, Bob, and I thought about it a long time, and I guess when Jamie Hickox dropped out and decided she wasn't going to run, that made up my mind. I went and qualified to run, so I'm looking forward to an opportunity if I get elected to serve District 5 in the county, people in the county. I'll give you a little of my background. I grew up in Tiff County. I didn't have a choice of where I went to college. My parents always said, when you go to ABAC. They didn't say if you go to ABAC.
When you go to
when you go to ABAC. So I went to ABAC for 2 years, and then I moved on to UGA. I got a degree from the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences in animal science. And I worked on a large plantation-type farm for about 4 years before moving to Jesup. Farm actually sold while I was there, so I moved on, and I had a few choices of counties, but I knew a little bit about Wayne County because we had a place at Shellman Bluff back then, and we would pass through Jesup on our way to Shellman Bluff. So, and then when they told me Jim Fountain was the county director here, I mean, that kind of made up my mind. I wanted to work with somebody that had experience, and certainly found that in Mr. Jim Fountain. So, and I guess the rest is history. I served in a lot of roles here besides just being the county extension agent. When I first started, I was the 4-H agent. We had a lot of success in 4-H during that time, and still do. But I enjoyed my time working with 4-H. I was 50% 4-H and 50% ag when I came, and we had 4 national winners during that time when I was working as a 4-H agent, and I had a lot of good help in the office and a lot of good co-workers, but that was good times, and I continued to do a lot of work with the 4-H program. 4-H and youth is, I guess it's sort of like band or football or anything else. If you put a lot into it, you get a lot out of it. It's that kind of program, and but I enjoyed that time. And then, of course, I got more into the ag side. I did work in Appling County for 2 years in 1985 and 86. Moved to Jesup in 81, and then left for a couple of years. Got some good experience in Appling County, and then moved back to Wayne County in 87, and been here ever since. And so I actually had about 35 years with the UGA Extension Service. I helped Mark Fry part-time after I retired, and I stayed on there about as long as I thought I needed to. I told my wife, I said, well, I'll know when the time is to leave and come home, and I left it in good hands. I tell you, Mark Fry is a good county extension agent, does a wonderful job. Enjoyed my time on the radio here. We were just talking about that. Freddie Fry was here when I started doing the morning radio shows, and I enjoyed doing that. I had a 10-minute program, and then later on we cut it down to 5 minutes, and I actually started recording it from my office and sending it, emailing it to Butch. But that was good times. I was able to cover a lot of things for the public. we had University of Georgia always has a lot of programs and trainings and opportunities and workshops for the public, and that radio program gave me a chance to spotlight all that so that people know what was going on. And we always talked about the weather. It's like this morning, if I was doing radio like I used to, we'd be talking about the weather, 40 degrees or whatever it was this morning. My truck said 43, but at home our thermometer said 37, Bob.
Yeah, it's kind of chilly, but like I said, It's going to warm up. Going to be a beautiful day for the parade. Again, if you just joined us in the studio with us as a candidate for County Commissioner Randy Franks, as you mentioned, you've been very active in the community, but you've never been involved in politics. So what made you decide to jump into the political arena and run for this county commission seat?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not a politician, but I'm seeking a position on the board. I think I bring a lot of leadership and experience over the years. And I had a good opportunity to work early on with the Chamber of Commerce. And Patricia Armstrong had been president 1 year. And I worked with Mickey Whittington and Tim Harris and Dr. Paul Scott. And if you don't learn something from that group, you're not going to learn much about leadership, because that was some really true leadership at the time. And I enjoyed that time working with them. Then later on, I got into a lot of other things. I served on several different boards in the county, but Industrial Development Authority was that was my passion when I retired. I wanted to be involved in that. And we've been able to do some good things, I think, with a new industrial park. But I enjoyed that time. Even we had to move offices a couple times. Even when I was chairman, we ended up moving offices. County worked with us really well on that and moved. IDA and Chamber got to move in together in the building where we are now. But I enjoyed that time. I still serve on the IDA. If I'm elected as a county commissioner, I'll have to step down. But I've enjoyed that time working with industrial development. I think it's very important because it's not only helping businesses and industry thrive, but it's creating jobs. And we have a lot of people graduate here every year from high school and hardly no jobs. So, I mean, how do you get 300 graduates into a job every year? We're not able to do that, of course, and a lot of them move away, and some of our best, most talented students end up in Atlanta or somewhere else, So I've been real passionate about that.
In Wayne County, voters just recently passed a new SPLOST. Whoever gets elected to this position, District 5, along with the commissioners that are there now, will make decisions on these projects. Again, improvements to the courthouse, the community center, the equestrian center.
Yeah.
So your thoughts on those projects, and if you get on the board, what would you like to see done?
Well, I think they're good projects. I think the way we're approaching that is the only way to do it, really, and that's by using SPLOST funds. I'm not too high on spending money, that the public has to pay through ad valorem taxes. That's always seems to be a burden and a problem for many. But I think with the SPLOST funds, if we spend them correctly and we're careful how we do it, I think we can provide some really good facilities for the county. The equestrian center, as some people's calling it, we call it the agricultural complex. It's coming right along. I think by the early part of next year we'll be hopefully about to complete the first phase of that.
Explain that a little bit. You've been involved in that project from day one. So what do you, like I said, it's been called several things. So what are we calling it these days?
It's the Wayne County Agricultural Complex.
And where's it located at?
It's located off of Sunset Boulevard across from Wayne Service Center, which is almost right across from the Wayne County Extension Office and USDA.
And you've got a grant, right?
We got a grant. We asked for a $250,000 grant, and whenever our state legislature put it through, we got $350,000. Stephen Meeks and Blake Tillery were behind that effort, and so we've been able to take that along with what the county put in about $50,000 to do to
Put a
clear
roof
the
on
land.
it, right? Oh, clear land, okay.
Clear the land.
I thought they were going to put the roof on it as well. So.
We'll put a roof on it with SPLOST funds, but we have the bleachers in hand. We have the panels for the arenas. There'll be one covered arena eventually, and there'll be 2 practice arenas outdoor. And if you're horse people or cattle people, you kind of know the purpose of that. You know, you can go warm your horse up and get ready for the event in those outdoor arenas. And reason for 2 outdoor practice arenas is, you know, we have a lot of Western riders, and then we have English riders. And it's 2 totally separate equestrian events. So the English will be able to utilize one practice arena where you might have jumpers, and you know, you have jumps set up, and the other practice arena, of course, would be Western. So it's coming together. I think it's going to be a nice facility. We have to work on the road, improve the entrance, and we're going to try to have 2 entrance ways eventually. One will be mainly for trailer trucks and trailers, and the other entrance will be more for the public. That's what we hope to have.
Do they have a target date on when it'll be completed or when it'll be open?
It'll be next summer, probably next summer, before we can actually use it. But you know, we don't have to have a cover over the arena to start using it, so that's a good thing. We'll have it set up so that we can use it right away. So I don't know exactly when that happens, because it's sort of slow. You get 3 bids on everything. You have to wait and you get the bids in, and then you purchase the product, whatever that might be. And so it's sort of been a slow process, but we do have a deadline for the grant of December 31st. So we got to move along and finish up the grant monies, and then we will look at covering it with SPLOST funds.
I got you. Okay, if you just joined us in the studio, candidate for County Commissioner Randy Franks again. Have you been keeping up with county business and the county commission meetings, and you know, what are some of the things you know, when you get in there, what are you going to sink your teeth into? You know, what are you looking forward to as a commissioner?
Well,
anything in particular you want to see get done?
Yeah, I want to see us. Well, we have to do a good job with spending taxpayer money. I mean, that's one of the primary things that the county does. And I know years ago when my daddy was a county commissioner in Tift County, it was called Commissioner of Roads and Revenues. I mean, roads was a big deal, still is a big deal. And but I remember him being called Commissioner of Roads and Revenues. But I think the tax dollar is very important, and it needs to be spent wisely. And I'm going to tell you, I've been real proud of the county through this storm effort, cleaning up and repairing roads. And I don't know, I guess everybody understands, but they have worked really hard and diligently and done a lot of work in a short period of time. And I've seen them all over the county working, and they're here and yonder. And I know they didn't get to everybody, you know, right away, but they got a lot of work done in a week or two's time, and they're still working.
And the good thing is, like they mentioned, they've got the equipment now to be able to do the work that they need to be done, which is a good thing, and the commissioners have made sure that they have that equipment. But again, as you mentioned, they've been committed. The city talked about their workforce as well, how they did a good job. But, you know, we were hit hardest that we've ever been hit. But like I said, when you go to Baxley or Acers like that, we've been blessed that we didn't get hit as bad as some of the areas. And I talked to Alan Volsky yesterday. All the Georgia Power customers have their power restored. I know there's still some people out there on the other power grid that's still waiting for their power to be restored. So that's been tough. That's been a tough storm, really has. And we got it bad, but like Bob said, we were on the verge of that. I mean, we're on the edge of that storm, really. If you go to Hazelhurst, it's really bad. I bumped into Coach Glass
in CVS one day, and he was telling me a little bit about it. But they've had a really tough time. A lot of people were coming over here from Appleton County to get gas, for a long time. So.
And there's 4 people in North Carolina. They're still looking for bodies in that state. So, again, it was really a hard-hit storm. But, again, getting back to the election, like I said, we ask all the time, people are voting already. Again, the turnout's been tremendous here in Wayne County. Like I said, 874 yesterday, 900 some on day one. The 2-day total was 1,801. So when they go in that voting booth, if they're in District 5 and they see those 2 names, Princess Dial and Randy Franks, why should they vote for Randy Franks for county commissioner?
Well, I think my experience with county government has been, extensive. I've been close to county government for a long time here, and when I first came, Mr. Lanier Blaylock was the county administrator. So that tells you it's been a long time.
You're bringing up our age, then.
Yeah, I worked.
That's who was there when I first got here back in the 80s, Lanier Blaylock.
That's right.
There's some good county administrators throughout the years.
I worked with some really good county administrators. Some of them moved on to bigger and greater things, I guess, but had the fortune to work with some good ones. One of the things is in all the years when I worked as in my department, I guess I was sort of a department head, but we never went over our budget. And people said, "Oh, you never went over your budget." And I said, "That's right. We never went over our budget. When we started running out of money in our budget, we quit spending. I mean, that's the way my outfit worked." And I know sometimes that's not true, And the best person to develop a budget for their department is that department head. I mean, they know more about their department than anybody else. So if I'm elected, I'm going to be looking to and depending on the department heads to do a good job budgeting and then try their best to stay within that budget. We don't, to me, it's not right to award people that go over their budget every year and then somebody who doesn't spend all their budget money, they don't give you any extra money.
A wise old politician told me one time, sometimes the best word to tell people is no. We're not buying this because we can't afford it. But sometimes our politicians don't see it like that. They just think they need to spend. But anyway, but again, I said that's what people care about is their money, their taxes, rolling back to digest when they can, things like that. But again, we wish you the best of luck. Appreciate you coming in. Again, this election will be decided on Tuesday, November 5th. Again, a reminder, early voting takes place at the election building here in Wayne County, located at 306 East Pine Street, Monday through Friday. Time, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. There are 2 Saturdays of early voting. This Saturday, the 19th of October, next Saturday, the 26th of October. And the voting time on Saturdays are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So again, we encourage everybody to get out and vote. Again, the turnout's been tremendous the first 2 days, and hopefully it'll continue all the way up until November. But again, Randy, always good to see you. Wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you, I'm sure, at the courthouse that Tuesday, waiting for the results.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. If I have the opportunity, I'll serve the county in the best I know how. I think I do bring leadership and experience, and I want to put that to work. But I also want to talk to the people, the public, and get ideas and suggestions. I mean, I'm very open to that. So, looking forward to that time, and if we get elected, and I appreciate your support and those that asked me to run. Thank you for your support and confidence, and look forward to serving if I'm elected.
Okay, we appreciate you coming in. Before we wrap up the show, just want to remind everybody, getting a lot of calls about the parade downtown Jesup, what time it is. It's a 5 p.m. parade in downtown Jesup. Again, the ride's the same as it's been the last couple of years. They'll line up at Bay Street near the fire station, proceed east on Bay Street, north on First Street, east on Cherry, and then south on West Broad to Orange Street. Again, the parade will feature the floats, the marching band, and the homecoming contestants and their escorts. And again, tomorrow night at JC Stadium, the homecoming queen, her court will be crowned. And again, a reminder, we'll have that live for you tomorrow night here on Big Dog Country FM 105.5 during the halftime of the football game between Wayne County and the Benedictine Cadets. That's going to do it for the day's world famous Butch and Bob show. Bob, we're going to say have a great day.